All right, as you probably can tell by the title, things are not all sunshine and rainbows here. But first, I do have my parts. I got my piston ring set in this box. And I got new locks for the connecting rod bolts. And I also got, this is the petcock for the side of the oil pan. I'll show you that when we get to doing it. And now for the next. And now for some of the bad. This is the head that came off the engine I put in there. And if you remember back, the crack here and over here, the guy at the machine shop said that those were, they would have been fine. You can still see some of the Magnaflux dust on there. But he found a crack right there. So that's the bad. So now we gotta either try to find a welding shop that can fix it or whatever. But the good is, I saved the head off the original engine that was in the 400. And that is currently sitting at the machine shop, which is in better shape than that one. So, next up will be some assembly. So we'll get set up for that and come back. Now for a little bit of assembly. I got the new petcock put in the oil pan. The old one broke off and I couldn't get it to turn. I even broke it off more. But there is just pipe threaded in. And I just used channel locks and slip joint pliers. But it's in there. Pipe wrench probably would have been better, but I don't have a pipe wrench. So I used what I got. It worked. So now I guess we'll get going on doing piston rings. So I suppose we'll get set up for that and come back. All right, now we're going to do the piston rings. And to do that, I got my piston ring pliers. To use it, you just take the, they got the two ends. You get the gap of the ring to fit in between them. And then you just expand it and pull it right off the piston. Just like that. Now on some of these rings, like this one, it's got a little chamfer in it, a little angle cut in it. That part's got to go up. Not all of them have that little corner knocked off of them. But putting them on is just as easy. So I'll get these rings changed out and we'll come back with the piston install. One other thing about the piston rings is most of them would be included in a set like this. They actually tell you what groove they go in. And then they also got the diagram up here. just to help you figure out which way they got to go. All right, we got the piston rings all put on there. About ready to start using the piston ring compressor. First thing is, you don't want to make sure that your ring gaps are not lined up like that. You want to make sure that they're offset. So what I like to do is I like to put the first two rings almost 180 out. And the next ring, this one, I'd put outside like that. And the oil control ring, which would be this one, I'd put so the gap is over on the other side. Now before we put the piston ring compressor on, we're going to want to put some oil both either on this or on the piston, and then we're going to have to put a little oil in the cylinder bore just to help things slide in there nice and easy. So we'll work on getting that done and come back. Alright, we got the piston ring compressor on the piston. Tighten it up as far as we can go. Got the piston sitting in the hole. So now I'm just going to use the wooden handle, the rubber mallet, to tap it down in there. And hopefully it all goes smoothly. Gotta figure out. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Well, that's what I got. So, just kind of hold that down on there and there. It's all put in there. So now we just got to push it down and get it hooked up to the crank. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get number 2 out of there, since it's already down there. And we'll do the same thing for that one, and then we'll do number 1 and number 4 at the same time. And I already got number 1 sitting on the bench. But we'll get these done, and then that should pretty much wrap up all the assembly I got. Except for, I suppose, attaching the connecting rods to the crank. Yeah, we might come back and do that. Alright. I just got number 3 hooked up to it right now, but we got the new locks on there. I didn't torque them down yet. I'll have to look to see what the torque spec is. But for right now, I just got them snugged up. Gotta turn that one. But on this surface here, usually they're stamped 1, 2. This one should be stamped 3, and then 4 up here. The stamp side, or it'd be here, it'd be this flat side here. That'd go towards the camshaft, which would be this side here. This tube here comes from the oil filter. But so you got your cam right up there, so this would go towards the camshaft side. That's usually how they're supposed to go. But when all else fails, just hook them up the way they were when you took it apart. And it should be good. Should be. But whenever in doubt, you always ask questions. So that's pretty much all I got. If I might have the torque spec down in the description or maybe in the comment box. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what they are right offhand. But that's all I got for right now. So till next time.